Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and this is where we discuss politics, true crime and current affairs. If all of that sounds like something you're interested in, please subscribe so you never miss an episode. My recording looks a little bit different yet again. It's gone dark. I think there's a thunderstorm coming. I'm recording on my phone because my computer cameras looked poop and I have a ring light that I'm playing with on my phone and I'm not going to touch anything because it's kind of working. So today we are going to continue our coverage of the case of the death of Eric Richins. Eric's wife Kouri was arrested on the 8th of May 2023 and charged with first-degree aggravated murder and multiple counts of second-degree possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. Kouri is currently sat in jail without bail, awaiting trial. If you're new to the case, according to her arrest warrant, Kouri was arrested for allegedly poisoning Eric on or around the 3rd of March 2022, causing his death. Then following Eric's death, Kouri wrote a children's book about grief based on her own experiences. There's also rumours of affairs, life insurance policies and fraud flying around. So if you want to go down the rabbit hole with this case, I've got a whole playlist on it. If you're as fascinated as I am by this case, please subscribe and come along with me for the ride. Because when I first heard about this back in May, the headline was "Grief Author Poisons Husband, Allegedly." That's what I saw and I was hooked from that moment. I've been covering it ever since. So, in this episode, we're going to focus on the questionable internet searches allegedly done by Kouri between the time of the death of her husband Eric and her arrest. These internet searches have been released and are publicly available. There is a link in the description to a Google Drive folder containing some of the documents that I've come across. Kouri's internet search is questionable at least and downright damning at worst. I've selected a few to go through. Let me know what you think in the comments. Some of them are just ridiculous and unbelievable. You would never believe that someone whose husband has just passed away would be searching for this stuff. But which one sticks out most to you? I'd like to know. Keep in mind that Eric died on the 4th of March 2022. The first search that I'd like to tell you about is one that happened approximately 6 weeks following Eric's death. So on the 16th of April, someone with access to Kouri's computer searched for Utah State Prison Women's Facility. Now, I don't know when Kouri thought the police were investigating her. Were they investigating her as soon as 6 weeks after his murder? Because if they weren't investigating her, why is she searching for women's prisons 6 weeks after he died? And then there are many, and then this is all in April. What happens to deleted messages? Police can't read your iMessages. 5 things you need to know about Utah State Prison. And at the end of April, delay in payment for death certificate with pending cause of death, i.e. life insurance policy payout. And another one in May, cause of death usually does not impact life insurance payment. That was a search result rather than just a standard internet search. So, and then in May, how do police and forensic analysis recover deleted data from phones? In June, a search result of "One pill can kill. Understanding the risks of fentanyl." Eric died from an overdose of fentanyl. And then later on in June 2022, there's a Google search for how long does life insurance companies take to pay. And then in July 2022, there was a search for result for a news story of two teenagers who were arrested after another teenager overdosed on fentanyl-laced green tobacco. Did we say that? In what police have called a dangerous local trend. This was in the Idaho State Journal, so keep in mind that Kouri and Eric lived in Utah, so this is a story that's local to them. Was this Kouri trying to give herself an alibi and maybe say that Eric was taking part in this trend, even though she had previously told police numerous times that Eric didn't do, well, apart from gummies? And then in July 2022, there was a search result which I had to Google because, of course, I did. The story behind Midway's unfinished mansion, and this was in Town Lift News. Quote, the 10-acre property was purchased by a young couple relocating to the Heber Valley in January 2022 after spending nearly 2 years on the market. The couple had intended to finish construction and move into the home until the husband unexpectedly passed away shortly after the closing the sale on the property. Understandably, the current owner, now widowed, has been preoccupied for obvious reasons and has not resumed construction. She since relisted the home, and Kouri Richins Realty LLC is the seller with an asking price of $4.75 million. Update. The husband who died unexpectedly, mentioned in this article, has been tied to Summit County mother and author of book on grieving death charged with murder. End quote. So she had Googled that house that she was trying to flip. We did a house tour, by the way. That's one of the previous videos if you want to go have a rummage around that house. It's huge. But yeah, she Googled what people were saying about that home. In August 2022, she Googled how to hire someone to write a book for you. And that was proper brummy, that was, wasn't it? She did actually hire a ghostwriter to help her with her children's book. And then later in August, how does the FBI work a case? And this was information from the FBI website. And then there's an unreadable date, some point in 2022, the 17th of something. It could be August, could be the same day, I don't know. But there was a search result, signs of being under federal investigation. Yeah. And then in November 2022, just as a side note, Kouri was being sued by clients who were claiming hazardous levels of fungus in a home that Kouri had sold them. Just so we've got a bit of a timeline. And then the next one. So, in February 2023, Kouri seemed to become obsessed with someone called Jamie Woody. I could not figure it out. Finally found it. So Jamie Woody is County Sheriff's Office Detective Jamie Woody, possibly the lead investigator at the time, or at least one of the detectives on the case. She actually went on to, where has it gone? The Utah voter registration and found Jamie's information. Because, of course, I Googled the same search. And then in April 2023, Kouri emails the police sergeant Hoffmeyer regarding the dates of various events throughout hers and Eric's life. She confirms things and she puts them in sequence of order. She may have given some wrong dates. Not gonna lie, I'm with her. I am awful at remembering dates. And she includes lots of LOLs and laughing face emojis in this email to Police Sergeant Hoffmeyer in April 2023 discussing the death of her husband. Then 2 days later, she emails the county office again, clarifying some details. Again, starts including emojis, and she mentions various trips to Mexico with Eric. She has mentioned Mexico in that walk the dog letter that we all know, the jailhouse letter. And she mentions Eric's affair. She includes ha ha when referring to the couple's counselling following the affair. She talks about how Eric wanted a traditional wife, and she also mentions how the phone records from the night Eric died should back up her own testimony as to what happened that night. Turns out they don't, from what we've seen. Yeah, you'll have to go watch my previous videos. I don't want to say something that's wrong, but they don't. A few days later, 12th of May 2023, there are 3 Google searches for a phone number related to someone called O'Driscoll, which is possibly the lead investigator named on Kouri's arrest warrant. But who did this search after Kouri was arrested? Because she was arrested on the 8th of May. She was arrested, a month after she last emailed the county office that we know of. Of course, she may have emailed them in between then. But she was arrested on the 8th of May 2023. And then there was some searches for a phone number relating to someone called O'Driscoll on the 12th of May. Who did this search? Could she search in jail? Or did someone else have access to her account, computer, whatever you want to call it? But then again, didn't they confiscate everything to analyse it? Maybe. So that they are some of the ones that have been highlighted by the police force, investigators, maybe. But there are quite a few more searches. But if you're enjoying this video, please leave me a like. It's a free way of supporting the channel, and it signals to the algorithm gods that people like my content. Subscribing is also free, and it's an easy way to support the channel. And there are some other searches on Kouri's computer under her account that have been released, but they've got no dates next to them, which is rather frustrating, but they are interesting. Some of them are the ones that we've already gone through, but there's a few that I would just like to point out. So most of them, there's quite a lot of, can you delete everything from an iCloud account? Can you delete everything from an iPhone? Can you change the password remotely of a lost cell phone? Can deleted text messages be retrieved from an iPhone? Utah State Prison. Women Utah Prison. Summit County District Attorney. Can cops uncover deleted messages iPhone? Was it... Didn't she delete messages when she was arrested before she handed over her phone? Or was that the night that Eric died? There was one of them. She messed with her phone before she handed it over. How to permanently delete information from an iPhone remotely. Can cops force you to do a lie detector test? What happens if you are detained but never got read your Miranda rights? That'll be interesting. Did she not get read them? I haven't heard that yet. You'd have thought that would have been a big one that her defence would have already mentioned at least. What are you allowed inside Utah jails? Bearing in mind, all of these are probably done before she's arrested and charged. Will life insurance pay if death certificate says pending? This next one, it went viral. This internet search, okay? Luxury prisons for the rich in America. I hate to tell her, but there's no such thing. No. There's probably ones that are nicer than others, but no. No. Can you overdose on naltrexone? This is actually a drug that is used to treat alcohol and opioid addiction. Is that the angle she's going to go with? That Eric was addicted and OD'd on his treatment? What prescription is used to stop alcoholics? And then she Googles her company's net worth. Why not? FBI's analysis of electronics in an investigation, how to delete Facebook, can Find My iPhone work if it is off? Can Find My iPhone ever be wrong? FBI searching electronics, 3 searches for that. There's a search for lorazepam, which is a medicine to treat anxiety and sleeplessness, but it can become addictive. I found that out. What is considered a non-natural manner of death? Who determines the cause of death? Can the cause of death be changed on a death certificate? What is the lethal dose of fentanyl? 2 searches for that one. Someone called Jamie Woody. Yes, that was it possibly the lead investigator? One of the investigators, Jamie Woody. 6 searches for this person. 6. If you can hear screaming that sounds like a baby, that is my cat Yogi Bear. He's coming up to tea time. Apologies. The next internet search I want to look at, sell a social security number. Can someone in America give me some information about that? What? Maybe we sell our national insurance numbers. I don't know. Obviously illegally, but okay. Now, next search, what happens if you give Narcan to someone who doesn't need it? So first of all, Narcan is a medicine used to reverse an opioid overdose. But I've highlighted her choice of words. She has said, what happens if you give Narcan to someone? Not what happens if someone has taken too much Narcan. She has specifically typed, what happens if you give? Just interesting. How long does life insurance companies take to pay? So there are some interesting searches and search results history there, but of course this is not an extensive list. There was so many. I could have Googled every single one of them. I almost did. But it's going to be interesting to see how Kouri's defence team explains these searches. I would like to know when Kouri thought that she was under investigation, because she's searching for Utah Women's Prison just 6 weeks after Eric's death. Remember to let me know what sticks out to you. How are the defence going to undermine the relevance of these searches as well? It's going to be interesting to see. She's next due in court on the 3rd of November, when it's assumed that a trial date will actually be set. But what do you think? Which search stuck out to you? Which search results stuck out to you? How are they going to defend these as well? And as a reminder, Kouri is presumed innocent. Keep that in mind. And there are children involved. So if you do partake in conversations about this case, please be mindful. Kouri's family and friends are insisting that she's innocent and that a lot will be coming out at trial, which will shock the public. For more information on this case, remember I do have a playlist with all the information so far. I've got a backlog of things I want to cover in this case, but every time I try and do a video, I make the mistake of searching for Kouri Richins to see if there's an update. And there's always an update. The latest one was Her defence team are asking for the case to be dismissed. That's all I'm telling you. Go watch the video. Yeah, I've got a backlog of videos that I want to do. There's a link in the description also to a Google Drive file where I have saved all the documents that I've found. If you'd like to see the internet searches for yourself, they are there, along with the walk the dog letter, and there's a prenup, there's bail application, there's arrest warrant, transcripts, all the good stuff. But thank you for joining me for this latest episode in my series about the alleged murder of Eric Richins. Like and subscribe. It's a free way to support the channel. Leave me a comment. What do you think about this internet history or the entire case? To be fair, if someone was to look at my internet history, it is somewhat questionable. Tell me yours isn't. You are watching a true crime video. Your internet history is questionable. And also, let me know how you found my content. Thank you for watching, and a special thank you to those of you from the Kouri Richins subreddit. I really appreciate your support. You know that. You know how much this all means to me. Look forward to talking to you all soon. And you can, all of you, whoever you are, you can find me on all the socials. All the links are below. It's clearly getting dark here in the UK. I will end this video and I will see you in the next one. Tatty byes.